Man prosecutors say was the mastermind behind the gruesome murder of a teenager could be sent to death row for a second time.
You've really portrayed yourself as a victim in this case, haven't you?
No, ma'am.
You're just a misunderstood guy, aren't you?
Addressing a four-person, sir, has the jury reached an advisory sentence?
Yes.
The defendant shall be taken by the proper authorities to the Florida State Prison.
Michael Shane Bargo was condemned to capital punishment gave during his resentencing for the first-degree slaying of Seth Jackson in 2011. Let's delve deep into the details. Bargo. Born on April 29, 1992 in the U.S., Bargo's early years were shadowed by challenges within his family and personal struggles. His troubled upbringing, characterized by a strained familial environment, played a significant role in shaping his trajectory. At the age of 18, Bargo found himself entangled in a web of criminal activities. These included allegations of burglary and grand robbery that had preceded his involvement in a tragic slaying in 2010. Initially identified as a 21-year-old white male during his arrest in 2013, Bargo's background was revealed to be marred by adversity and adversity.
I believe a lot of stuff come out that should have came out.
Like what?
Is there anything you want to say about his age and how he's doing?
His family?
Growing up in what can be described as a burdened and harmful family, Bargo's early life was marked by turbulence. He grappled with an unfavorable relationship with his mother and endured the consequences of his parents' separation. The emotional turmoil stemming from their discord significantly impacted his psychological and emotional development. This tumultuous environment left Bargo vulnerable to feelings of inadequacy, evident in the bullying and harassment he endured during his formative years, stemming from his comparatively smaller stature compared to his peers. In the midst of these difficulties, Bargo had a beacon of support in the form of his sister, Lauren. Amidst the chaos of his upbringing, she likely served as a source of solace and connection, offering a semblance of stability in an otherwise tumultuous environment. However, the legal proceedings that followed shed light on Bargo's mental health struggles, further complicating his narrative. His supporters contended that the initial circuit court failed to adequately consider his emotional well-being during the trial. A subsequent examination of Bargo's psychological profile revealed a myriad of challenges, including brain damage, bipolar disorder, schizoaffective disorder, complex partial seizure disorder, hallucinations, and diminished inhibitory control. Bargo's life story took a grim turn with his involvement in a homicide that would forever alter the course of his future. The jury's initial verdict in his trial was not unanimous, leading to a reevaluation by the Florida Supreme Court. This second sentencing hearing, aimed at ensuring a comprehensive review of the case, ultimately resulted in another unanimous decision to impose the penalty.
You may.
My understanding what happened was she needed to break up with him. She went and called him and broke up with him. Now, it somehow got around to that
Let's talk about another girlfriend that we haven't talked about. How about Tessa McLam?
I know.
How about the real reason that you moved into Charlie Ely's house? Hey, I need rent money, you want to move in.
I was going to help her with rent, yeah.
Seth Jackson. Seth started dating her high school classmate Amber Wright, likewise 15. In any case, breaks appear to show up after a specific time in their relationship. Jackson blamed Amber for undermining his Facebook page in the wake of figuring out she had been dating Michael Bargo, an 18-year-old.
You've really portrayed yourself as a victim in this case, haven't you?
No, ma'am.
You're just a misunderstood guy, aren't you?
Yeah.
And when you say they shot him or we shot him, it's really I, isn't it?
No, ma'am.
You dated her for about a year and a half. You were dating Taylor.
Well, because of a prior incident before, she didn't know.
Overruled.
I have it on my thigh, I do.
Okay.
Golden Wright drove Seth Jackson to co-defendant Charlie Ely's home on the night of April 17, 2011, on the guidance of then 18-year-old Bargo, so Bargo, Kyle Hooper, and Justin Soto could snare and slay Jackson. After the underlying attack, Bargo expected to keep the casualty alive so he could slay him and the casualty would perceive his end before he died. Bargo beat the casualty while still in the bathroom, hollered at him, and kept on taking shots at him. The casualty was at last lethally shot in the face by Bargo. Bargo and Soto then got the casualty's body a camping cot to Eli's fire pit and got the fire going.
Addressing a four-person, sir, has the jury reached an advisory sentence?
Yes.
Madam Clerk, please publish the advisory sentence.
Advise and recommend to the court that it impose the death penalty upon Michael J. Bargo Jr.
The incident. According to law enforcement sources, Jackson was directed to a residence pursued by Bargo and subsequently subjected to a brutal slaying. His remains were later incinerated and the resulting ashes were dispersed within a water-filled rock quarry. During the month of April in 2011, it had been alleged by prosecutors that Bargo, accompanied by co-defendants including Amber Wright, Kyle Hooper, Charlie Eli, and Justin Soto, enticed 15-year-old Seith to a residence in Summerfield. It is said that at this location, they subjected him to severe physical attack, gunfire, and torment before proceeding to incinerate his body. Afterward, the remains of the teenager were placed within containers usually reserved for paint and were then disposed of in a quarry filled with water. Law enforcement officials have stated that Bargo was identified as the mastermind behind these actions.
The man prosecutors say was the mastermind behind the gruesome murder of a teenager could be sent to death row for a second time.
Bargo remains in place. The change in Florida law means he will receive one of two sentences. All he needs is one juror to vote against the death penalty.
Lead detectives tell WESH 2 News they believe they know where the murder weapon has been hidden, but right where they say 15-year-old Seth Jackson was viciously murdered.
In August 2013, he was found guilty and subsequently given a sentence. 4 years later, the Florida Supreme Court provided Bargo with the opportunity for a resentencing, owing to the fact that the initial recommendation for the penalty by the jury was not delivered unanimously. The split was 10-2. During his new trial in April of this year, a fresh jury arrived at a unanimous decision to propose the ending of Bargo. Bargo was 18 years old at the time of the slaying. 3 months following his subsequent trial, Bargo addressed the court, labeling his sentencing hearing as a significant spectacle. He conveyed to the judge that he believed he did not receive a just trial due to his possession of evidence, which he claimed could substantiate his innocence. However, these evidentiary elements had been dismissed by the court. Bargo hinted that, should his ending come to pass, the responsibility for his demise would rest on Tati, insinuating that the judge would be accountable for the demise of an innocent individual. The sentencing order, composed by Tati, furnishes a backdrop regarding Bargo's convictions, providing an intricate description of each aggravating factor unanimously determined to be present by the jury, alongside all mitigating circumstances that have been reasonably established through evidence.
But that's not what she says.
I never told her I shot somebody.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. She misunderstood what you said.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's talk about you going to Stark. Now, you say...
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you get to Stark, and you said that you get along with Kristen's family fine. You have no problems with them, right? Justin's not there. No Charlie Ely. No Amber. So at this point, clearly you tell them, I need some help. People are trying to pin a murder on me.
The conviction. Sonia Jackson, a grief-stricken mother who had steadfastly attended every hearing related to her son's tragic case, abruptly left the room as the judge announced the chilling sentence, passing away. Her heart-rending departure was a poignant reflection of the immense pain and turmoil she must have been grappling with as justice was sought for her lost child. At the center of this grim legal saga was a man named Bargo, now etched in history as the youngest inmate to find his place on Florida's notorious row. The gravity of the situation was underscored by the sheer weight of his punishment. 2 assistant state attorneys, Amy Berndt and Robin Arnold, who had relentlessly prosecuted Bargo, stood in silence, refusing to comment on the verdict. Their actions, or rather their lack of words, hinted at the complexity and gravity of the case they had undertaken. Florida, with its complex legal history intertwined with the penalty, was no stranger to such circumstances. Bargo's addition to the list of 8 individuals from Marion County on row, part of the state's grim total of 340, further highlighted the persistence of capital punishment in the state's justice system. This bleak number was a testament to the long-standing debate surrounding the ethics and effectiveness of the penalty as a deterrent to crime.
Accordingly, it is the judgment of the law. The defendant shall be taken by the proper authorities to the Florida State Prison, that this sentence
The numbers themselves painted a stark picture. Since 1979, Florida had executed 99 individuals under the sanction of the state. 3 of these endings had taken place in Marion County, an indication of the region's own contribution to the grim tally. These statistics forced society to confront the reality of state sanction and the finality it carried, bringing to the forefront difficult questions about rehabilitation, justice, and the societal responsibility for the lives of those incarcerated. Delving deeper into the demographics of row inmates in Florida exposed a chilling trend. The average age of those who met their end at the hands of the state was 44.9 years, highlighting the long and arduous process of navigating the legal labyrinth that often stretched for decades.
Yeah, it all surrounds the Florida Supreme Court's 2016 decision that juries must now vote unanimously today, and the resentencing happening later this morning.
calculated and premeditated case of murder I have ever seen.
The stand in his own defense during his trial in 2013. We're going through some of that for our next report in 30 minutes.
Equally unsettling was the average age of offenders when they committed the offenses that led them to the row, 27.4 years old. These figures stirred conversations about the potential for change, growth, and the challenges of effectively rehabilitating those who had committed heinous acts. The grim reality of Florida's row institutions, such as Florida State Prison and Union Correctional Institution in Rayford, where the male inmates were housed, and Lowell Annex, where the female inmates resided, offered little solace. The starkness of these facilities was a constant reminder of the lives hanging in the balance, as society grappled with its own sense of justice and moral responsibility. Bargo's last words were, "May God have mercy on my soul." That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.